What's going on, everybody, and welcome to a weekly gaming news 10 and 10 for the week ending Saturday, November 25th, 2017. My name is Trinell and I'm filling in for Todd this time around, and I have 10 minutes or less to give you this week's top 10 stories. So without further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Our first story comes from Microsoft as the games for gold for December 2017 have been announced. First up on the Xbox 360 is the game called Child of Eden, and it's listed as a multi-sensory shooter utilizing the Kinect as well as music to create a unique experience. Also on the 360 is Morrow Briggs and the Mask of Death. This seems like your everyday action-adventure arcade game, nothing really to say more about it. But on the Xbox One, we actually have some bangers, and first up is Warhammer End Times Vermintide. This is a first-person, 4-player co-op game similar to Left 4 Dead, but instead of guns, you mainly use melee weapons. And last but not least, we have Telltale's Back to the Future, the game. The story takes place 6 months after the events of the third movie. Bloodborne players have recently discovered a monster that was believed to have been cut from the final game 3 years after its release. The flaming undead giant was first seen during an on-stage demonstration of the Chalice dungeons by the game's director at PlayStation Experience 2014. When Bloodborne released in 2015, the boss character was nowhere to be found, and people just assumed that he was cut from the game. Well, here we are, 3 years later, and after countless trips into endless Chalice dungeons, the flaming undead giant has finally been spotted. He was discovered by a user named Colbert Commander with K's. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he's a part of a Reddit group that specializes in Chalice dungeon exploration. Apparently, the flaming undead giant is one of several undead giant variants and could have been discovered before, but simply remain unreported. Looks like Bloodborne still has some secrets for hunters to uncover. In Destiny 2 news, it appears that players may not be getting all of the experience that they've earned. A post on Reddit by user EnergizerX explains that the more that you play, the less experience you earn towards Bright Ingrams after you reach the level cap. Bungie released an official statement on their website, bungie.net, and in it they explained that experience scales up when playing longer or fixed duration activities like Crucible competitive multiplayer matches and Leviathan raids, and experience will scale down when playing activities that can quickly be repeated like the public events. In the statement, it also said that effective November 19th, the system has been deactivated, so players will see experience earn rates change for all activities across the board. Last week when we spoke on the EA and Battlefront 2 debacle, we failed to mention the fact that Belgium's gambling authority had been investigating the loot box style microtransactions as it could be seen as a form of gambling. Well, now the decision is in, and it looks like random loot boxes will be considered a form of gambling according to the Dutch language publication. Minister of Justice Koen Geens, I think that's how you say that, states that exposing young children to gambling in the form of video games can be damaging to the child's mental health. The Commission is reportedly working through the European Union's process to execute a total ban of the practice. That's not all, though, as the U.S. is now getting in on the conversation. Hawaii State Representative Chris Lee has also entered the fray in the form of a press conference he released on his official YouTube channel, where he calls loot boxes a predatory practice that takes advantage of vulnerable people. Chris Lee also said that he was taking action in order to ensure future protections for kids, youth, and everyone else. We all know that the game officially launched with microtransactions temporarily removed at the request of Disney executives. But with the way that EA is dominating the news cycle, I doubt that we'll see them for some time. Last week, we also talked about Marvel Heroes and how by the end of the year, the MMORPG would be closing down. We also stated that while the wind down was in process, all content would be made free for all players. Well, looks like Gazillion Entertainment has a change of plans, because on November 22nd, Gazillion Entertainment laid off most of its employees, only hanging on to a few to handle the wind down. And as of November 24th, Marvel Heroes is no more. Former employees took to Twitter, explaining that they had planned on working and having benefits until the end of the year. One employee even stated on Twitter that Gazillion is not even paying them out for their paid time off. This is very unfortunate, as it happened right before Thanksgiving, and while we never suspected that anything was wrong over at Gazillion Entertainment, questions are now being raised. The Capcom Pro Tour is winding down as the Capcom Cup takes place next month on December 8th through the 10th. And for the second year in a row, Capcom has been selling DLC in order to increase the Capcom Cup's prize pool. Capcom posted on the official PlayStation blog that this year's contribution to the prize pool has exceeded over $120,000, meaning that with the base prize pool of $250,000, the top 8 finalists will compete for a prize pool that is worth more than $370,000 and rising. In the blog post, they also stated that it's not too late to contribute, as the 2016 Pro Tour pack is still on sale for $9.99 and includes alternate costumes for Chun-Li, Cammy, and Necalli, as well as the Ring of Destiny and some exclusive titles and alternate colors. The Capcom Pro Tour 2017 pass goes for $24.99 and includes alternate costumes for Ryu, Ken, and Guile. It also includes the stage Ring of Pride and also has some exclusive colors and titles. As a casual Street Fighter V player, I passed on the DLC as it seemed a little bit expensive for the amount of content. Capcom did take some flack for this last year, but that doesn't seem to stop them from doing the same thing this year. One thing to note is that none of this content can be earned with the game's in-game currency, fight money. On November 20th, Sega announced the next game in the Valkyria Chronicles series. Valkyria Chronicles 4 will release in the spring of 2018 for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. Set in the same timeline as the previous games, Valkyria Chronicles 4 will retain its tactical RPG gameplay and colorful art style. The game will have all new characters and will sport a new class, the Grenadier. Composer Hitoshi Sakimoto will be returning for the game's soundtrack, and a teaser website is already live. If you're a Sonic the Hedgehog fan like me and looking for something to mask the pain that is Sonic Forces, well, you're in luck. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is now available for free with limited ads on the Apple iTunes Store and the Google Play Store. Like I stated before, the game will sport limited ads on the free version with Bluetooth controller functionality, cloud saves, and leaderboard. You can also pay a $1.99 fee to get rid of all the ads. And what's cool about this version of Sonic 2 is that it's the Christian Whitehead version, which is a remaster created in his own custom engine known as the Retro Engine, and so it includes full widescreen support, online multiplayer, and has the Hidden Palace Zone as a secret area, and you can play as Knuckles as well. This is a very good game to own as it's the definitive version of Sonic 2, and this isn't just coming from me. And we're going to end things just like we started with a story from Microsoft, as the Xbox Games Pass December titles are now listed and will be available to download and play on December 1st. The new games that are being added include Cassie Powell Lacrosse 16, Darksiders War Mastered Edition, Gears of War 4, Mass Effect 1, Mega Man 10, Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter, and This War of Mine, The Little Ones. If you haven't already, you can activate your 14-day free trial and get in on some of these games for free for a limited time. They're also doing a promotion right now which allows you to sign up for 1 month for only $1 if you're a new subscriber. And that's going to do it for this week. I want to thank you all for tuning in. And now before I let you go, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, the New Challenger Discord. If you want to get good at your favorite fighting game with your favorite fighting game character, head on over to newchallenger.gg and get good. And finally, don't forget to catch myself and Todd on a weekly gaming news show. The stream goes live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, broadcasting on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and Facebook. And we'll be talking in more detail about these stories and plenty more. Alright, again, my name is Trinell, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.